1, 2, 3, let's go.
Wednesday afternoon, hoping you will tune into our show.
Example, because you have to have the natural person,
Yeah.
that nature's produced, actually competing against others. If someone's on drugs which enhance performance, clearly that's not fair. So you can see why this would be banned, made illegal to give any sort of modification of genetics or whatever. So what side would I be on? Anything that can help those people who have had injuries, human suffering. I think you would have to agree with that. You'd have to go along and enable very clever scientists, doctors, to perform their magic with it. But otherwise, you'd have to be very careful to regulate that so they don't do what you suggested and actually go further on the QT just to see what they can produce.
Yeah.
Difficult subject.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Because I was just thinking, the first people that would probably jump on the bandwagon would be the government, and I would say that with respect to the military. So they would be looking to, build a stronger army or a more intelligent, it's what I suspect is already going on with our knowledge. I think I think it is. But anyway, so the next aspect of it is in the documentary, this lady scientist was saying, well, I can understand people not agreeing with that sort of cloning thing. However, it's the same thing as an IVF, and I'm thinking, well, hang on a minute, does she have a point there? Is it the same? Is it on the same level as an IVF or what we used to call a test tube baby back in the day?
Yeah.
We used to say test tube baby. Is it on the same level, cloning, do you think?
No, I would say not. I mean, IVF is, I suppose, where the woman finds it difficult to get pregnant. They've had checkups and there's no obvious reason why she can't conceive. So as I understand IVF, the doctors take an egg from her ovaries, and they then in a laboratory they fertilize that egg, or they try to, with sperm, presumably of the partner, the father to be. And of course it doesn't always work, which is why sometimes some couples go back 3 or 4 times, and it's not cheap. I don't think it's done on the NHS, and if it is, it will be only probably once. But so yes, so it's not, again, it doesn't always take. But of course, once the egg, if it does get fertilized, they then implant that back into the woman's womb, and it should develop, as it usually does, into a normal baby, a normal embryo first, and then into a baby. So yeah, I don't see that has much relevance as far as cloning is concerned. I don't think anyone is cloning. They're simply doing the process that ordinarily would happen inside the body, the conception process. They're doing it in a little tray, I can't think of the word, but a laboratory petri dish, I think, or whatever. And it's incredible, quite incredible that, again, humans have found out how to do that. I mean, it is, you go back 100 years or more, it would have been like something magical to produce a child like that. And I suspect they could probably have developments where they could actually, the child could grow again outside of the womb, outside of the woman, in laboratory conditions. But then it does start to get a bit science fiction like then, doesn't it? You wonder what other things could happen as a result of that. So yeah, IVF I think is a very clever thing, and it gives hope to couples who, for whatever reason, cannot conceive naturally. But I wouldn't relate it to cloning, unless my lack of knowledge is missing a glaring connection. But I don't really see it as a cloned baby. Far from it, really.
Yeah. Well, yeah, yeah. You know, when she said that, I thought, hang on a minute, is there a point here where, because she's saying, well, it's basically the same thing, and I'm thinking,
The leader of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything customers. And fund the aim of everything customers.
Connection, but I don't really see it as a cloned baby. Far from it, really.
yeah, well, yeah, yeah. When she said that, I thought, hang on a minute, is there a point here where, because she's saying, well, it's basically the same thing, and I'm thinking, and she said it with so much confidence that I believed her at first, and then I thought about it, and I'm thinking, right, hang on, do I really believe what she's saying? And then I had to do a bit of a research into IVF, and I thought, well, hang on a minute, does she have a point? To be quite honest with you, I'm still thinking she might have a bit of a point, but it doesn't justify cloning on humans. I don't think she has enough points or enough.
No.
Yeah, or I don't think she has enough in the argument to be able to justify cloning a human being, because that's totally different, isn't it? You're making a total human being that have no genetical traits, or they had no they will have no ancestral traits, would they? So it's not like,
well, except they would have the DNA though of the human, that, so I guess they would have ancestral, a chain going back like the clone, the original donor was concerned. And maybe the point the lady scientist was making was that because doctors now know how to produce what was once a magical conception between humans, they can do it outside the body. And I think maybe she's saying that could lead to all sorts of other things, which it possibly could. But I personally can't see that relates. You'd never say an IVF baby was any different to any other baby, because it's the same mixture of sperm and egg. The egg is fertilized. It's not like you're doing it kind of in a different way, or someone else's egg and so whatever. I don't see the point she was really making there. No.
Yeah. Well, I don't. I don't. But it's just I'm just being tempted to keep an open mind on the argument, if you know what I mean. I don't want to keep a closed mind on it, because I'm thinking, if you could do it that way, what stops you from doing the other way? Because they might come up in the future, and the government might well be swayed to go along with it. To go along with it and say, well, hang on a minute, they do have an argument here. Why not have a look at it, or put it to a debate? And once they put things to a debate, it takes a different form, don't it? It's like those for and those against, and God forbid those against, those for win, then they have a way forward then, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're gonna clone humans. Well, yeah.
I don't really know why, apart from improving, as I say, medical situations, I can't really see a purpose in cloning, except to say it's another development of human ingenuity, that you can do something like that. I've sometimes wondered over the years what it's like to be an identical twin, because they are genuine clones of each other, and we all know really that the truth of it seems to be that twins are exceptionally close. They don't only look alike, they often sound alike, but they think alike. And it's quite interesting to see that. Now, maybe if there's any twins listening, they would say, no, he's got that wrong. Me and my twin, we're identical, but actually we're very different. But there's always apparently a closeness between twins. And if, God forbid, if one of them dies for any reason, there seems to be a real awful, more than a usual sense of loss. And I wonder if being an identical twin, you go through life almost feeling like you're half a person, that you're together, you're one unit, if you like, or whether they both have this, being separate humans, but they're linked together in such a powerful way. Right. So the whole question, it would be a good topic for another podcast. The whole background of twins, identical twins, and with some examples of how they think. And I mean, I only know one now. It's over the years, I suppose. I've known some identical twins, but a couple of Lucy's friends from when she was at college, Rachel and Amy, they are so identical. I mean, I know that sounds a dumb thing to say. They're probably about 22, 23, but everything about them. I mean, the way they greet people, one will run up and throw their arms around them, and then the other one will do the same. They really are, bits of the same apple that fell off the tree. It's quite uncanny to see the similarity, not similarity, the identical nature of what they are, their voices, their personalities, and everything. Not that I know them personality that well, but from what I do know, they are very much alike. But I guess there will be others who say, well, no, we're not that close as such. Yeah. But interesting topic.
Yeah. Do you know what? It just came into my mind just now as you was talking. I'm thinking, right, I think you've just made a good argument for those four. I think you've just made a good argument for them, because they'll be saying, well, nature can do it. Why can't we do it?
Well, yeah, of course.
Nature.
Well, that's the point. But that is the point. It's nature doing it. It's not humans. But then humans are part of nature, let's face it. So you could argue that, if anything we do comes from a natural source. Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting point, isn't it?
Yeah. You say, well, if nature can do it, why can't we do it? Nature, because we're copying from nature every day, aren't we? Most of human inventions copied from nature. The aeroplane, for instance, the helicopter, and all these bullet train, for instance. So most of the things that we do as humans is copied from nature. So that's a good argument for. I can say, well, if nature can do it, why can't we do it? But what I would, I'm quite for human cloning, actually. I'd love to see what a clone of myself would look like, and would it think like me? Would it be better than me? I'd be jealous if it was better looking than me.
But if it's a clone, it would look exactly the same as you, wouldn't it? Really?
Well, it'd have more hairs, wouldn't it? I think I'd be jealous a little bit if he had more hairs than I do. I'd be like,
yeah, that's the point. But as I say, I don't really think they can ever agree to it, because can you imagine? And I think this has happened in animals, that a cloned animal often gets bad illnesses. I mean, Dolly the sheep effectively died, and of course, if it was a human and they suddenly got a number of very bad illnesses or whatever, how could you ever say to that person, look, actually, you're kind of you're a test tube baby, you're an example of a cloned human? That's where they come into the dignity bit again, isn't it? You couldn't say to someone, look, you're only an experiment, you're the result of an experiment. So I'm not joining your side yet. I'm sticking with
not yet.
The side which says no.
Yeah,
we should say no to that.
Yeah, I think you'll eventually join. I think so. I can see you becoming right. This is all we've got time for. So do you want to do the conclusion, bro?
Yeah, well, we touched on a very interesting topic, and one which can go off in all sorts of directions, but hopefully we've stirred a bit of interest. So I've been Trevor Gear, and he calls me Bruv.
And I've been Emmy Hikins, and he calls me Cuz. And you've been watching and listening to the Alien Spaceship. Join us again, same time next week for another interesting episode. So it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.
Of our gang will make the show go with a bang and fund the aim of everything Custis and fund the aim of everything Custis.